Good Monday, guys. It's Mark, and welcome back to our episode of Mark Talk today. Well, welcome to our episode of Mark Talk today. I am so honored and excited to be talking to you guys today. It really means the world to me that you guys are here. Things have been going good. Things have been going great with this show. It makes me so happy. As usual, tune in for fun every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you like what you see, give us a nice little thumbs up, like inside, like below here. Subscribe. Also, in case you don't know, we're now at 69 subscriptions, which is pretty freaking cool. And it makes me think of one small thing in my mind. One of my favorite quotes of all time. The one and only. Oh my God, I love that scene so much. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And it makes me very happy. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for all that. If you like us, please like, subscribe, everything. For those that don't know, today is going to be an AMA day. It's my third time doing one of these. I'll probably change up the format next Monday. We got a really great guest for Wednesday's episode that I'll be talking about at the end of this episode. But I got some good questions today, and I'm excited to answer them for you. And you. Whatever. I'm already laughing at my own dumb jokes. This is what you get when you watch Mark talk. Mark laughing at his own jokes. All right. Nicole Horn asks, for those who don't know, so that's TikTok Nicole on TikTok and RJP, well, RNAP. But please tell me your top 5 breakfast cereals with a breakdown of your selections. So I'm going to have to go with the Reese's cereal, like the Reese's Puffs, Cocoa Puffs. I love Rice Krispies, and what else? I love Cheerios. I love all the Cheerio varieties. I think, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I know those aren't the healthiest cereals in the world, but they're very tasty. And for me, it feels like sometimes if I don't eat cereal that often, but if I were, I normally like something with a little bit of a sugary content because that's just the way I am in the morning if I'm up that early. So Sean Collins asked, which person in the sequester community made you feel most at home before my first game? I like this question a lot because I was part of the sequester community for about a month before I actually started playing. And I just was following on Twitter and then eventually in the Facebook group. For me, there'd be Geneva Guadalupe, who is a person who kept seeing tweet the most, and TR Conradi. Both of them have become friends since. I've worked on an impression of TR that will probably not see light of day. I'm not sure. Depends on if I get the courage to do that game that he's trying to make happen. But definitely TR, because I think TR has always been super nice and really good. And Geneva, if you don't know Geneva is just like a warm hug of a human being, and she finally won the game, which I'm so proud of her because she's great. Like, she's definitely one of the people she's the person I followed earliest on Twitter before I played. Sean also asks, and if you had to describe your day, current emotions as a color, what would it be? I'm going to say blue, like a nice light blue. It's not the happiest day. It's not the saddest day. It's been a pretty easy day. I had a Facebook notifications go crazy with the post today. Fun fact, if your friends like movies as much as I do, then they are going to be all about that kind of situation with movies. If you post about movies that are, like, for example, I don't even know how to speak today, apparently. Basically, what I posted was, tell me a movie and I will, tell me a movie you don't like and I'll tell you the thing I like about it. And 100 posts later, I'm like, I'm kind of done with this post. I need to prep for Mark Talk. And I turn off notifications, which is, I don't ever do that. I'm not that guy. Bryce Cockrell asks, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? I love the idea of flight. I think it's a really cool one. It's not like, it's also like one of the ones that I think is more fun because it's kind of one that can kind of hide to a certain extent. And I think that's a really fun thing for a superhero to be able to do, to kind of hide their power. And it's it's also cool. Like if you need to get somewhere quick, you're like, peace. Like, I mean, my girlfriend lives 1,200 miles away from me. I could visit her in theory if I could fly. Uh, but that's just the way that is. I can also visit her in actuality if I got on a plane, but that's a little bit scary right now, especially with the way things are. For those that don't know, please wear a mask and be smart and be wash your hands and social distance, all that good things. And if you feel sick, don't be around people right now. You're not supposed to do that. Bryce Cockrell just asked that question. And Brian Ferrello asked, where do I see myself in the next 10 years? This is an interesting question because for those that don't know, I turned 35 in 17 days, which is a very scary age for me. I mean, that's not old, but I think that once you hit 30 years old, the only birthdays that are important are 0s and 5s. And so this is my first important birthday in about 5 years. My life has gone through a lot of stuff in the last 5 years, too, between the suicide attempt and growing a lot as an adult. Where do I see myself in the next 10 years? I see myself still being a creative thing. I believe it'll be acting, probably writing also, because I do like writing a lot. I might see myself mentally in LA by that point. I'm not sure. It depends on how things are going in my life in the next few years about that. I know LA has always been kind of in the cards. If I have to go there, I'm okay with that. But yeah, but that's where that is. Jill Hughes asks, I want to hear the craziest stories I've encountered in my career. All right, so my second show in New York, I did this play called Quiet Bed, which is a series of 4 10-minute long one acts, where basically what happens in the play, it was just pre-coital, post-coital comedy or drama or whatever. And my scene involved me being naked, like supposedly naked. And I'm not a person that's going to their body. In case you can't tell, I'm a very fuzzy dude. It's not just the beard, it's fuzzy everywhere. See, fuzz. But I had to gain the confidence to be in my very, very little amount of clothing for a time. The girl that's very pretty too. And it was done in a nice, tasteful fashion. But I was so fucking scared every performance. There was this one performance where it was just us two on stage and 2 people in the audience. That's very weird. I don't know if you guys have ever done it before. It's okay, but it's in that kind of situation. It made me feel less comfortable than I probably should, but that's okay. Emily Freeband asks, what's your most proudest accomplishment? There's a couple things here. I think like some of my more recent stuff, like winning the audience award for Blockbuster Guy and starting to get some acclaim for my career is pretty big. Also, I remember when I was in high school, I always, as a thespian, we always went to States. And I somehow in my senior year, when Avenue Q came out, I went to New York and saw Avenue Q Avenue Q. And even though I can't sing, I wanted to get together the best singers I could in my school to put up Everyone's Little Bit Races. And this is the year that like Avenue Q first came out. The sheet music wasn't there. And I got the best singers I could. And then we won at districts. And then we went to opening night at States. So we performed in Tampa in front of a total of 5,000 people between 2 different shows in one of those massive touring theaters. And it was incredible hearing waves of laughter and feeling you're a part of something. Another big accomplishment for me, getting the courage to ask out my girlfriend. For those that don't know, I asked her out by a handwritten letter, which is not the easiest thing to do. It's a scary thing to do. And I did it, and it went well. So I mean, there's a lot of things. Like I'm mostly like to celebrate small things and huge things, and they all matter because any win is an accomplishment in my personal opinion. Ali Kosan asks, what's my go-to Starbucks drink? So I have 3 different drinks. If it's really early and I just need fucking caffeine, just give me a nice hot, like big coffee, like black, all good. If it's regular like day, then I want like a venti strawberry acai refresher with lemonade. And if I just need some good caffeine, like during my day, the iced macchiato, the iced cloud macchiato, I like a lot. Nicky Rodriguez asks a question that's similar. Are you more of an iced coffee or a hot coffee type of person? So as you probably noticed, that my drink orders are either one of them is hot and two of them are cold. I am a cold coffee person. I like cold coffee even when it's dead of winter and it's fucking freezing outside. But I do understand the purpose of hot coffee. My roommate's a hot coffee person, and he gives me a lot of hot coffee whenever I ask, and I am thankful for that. But I am strongly a cold iced coffee person. Jackie Lawrence asks, what is your favorite animal and why? I love monkeys. I love monkeys, all the monkeys in the world. I've always loved monkeys, always will love monkeys. Don't know why I love monkeys as much as I do, but I do know this. Like, I remember when I saw the movie Monkey Trouble when I was like 10 years old. It was like an adorable capuchin movie, and I wanted a capuchin immediately. And like, I've always just fucking loved monkeys. I love monkeys. I love them. Kat Yathin asks, what's your beard care routine? For those that don't know, I love my beard, and I actually do have a routine when it's not pandemic times, because right now my routine is there is none. I don't shave. I just wake up and pray that I'm not going insane. And normally it works. But when I'm not in pandemic times, I trim it about once every 4 days to make sure that it has a good, I like a good length, but not like too much. Like basically my normal length. So this is how it is right now. I'd say normally like about like that. And what I like is I got some really good beard oils, and also I brush it. As you know, I'm not the most up on top, which is okay. But my beard is very important to me, and I take very good, serious care about it. I take serious care about all my stuff. But also, like, I can't recommend like a trimmer and a good, thick beard brush. Just to give your beard the care that it needs. Bryce Cockrell asks another question. If you were a trained assassin but could only use one weapon, what would it be and why? I kind of answered this question like a week ago when Kaylee Patterson, happy birthday, Kaylee. If you guys haven't heard Kaylee's song, Other Side, stream it on Spotify, download it, follow her on Spotify. She's going big things. I'm just saying that. It's also her birthday, so if you know Kaylee, wish her a happy birthday. But I will use a samurai sword. I love samurai swords. I love that culture. I think they're fucking cool. I've been obsessed with samurai swords since I saw Kill Bill in high school. Yeah, I love samurai swords. Tony Blanco asks, are you excited about Friday night? Without giving too much away, yes, I am. Zachary Crustle asks, how do you deal with people who think judging you is inoffensive? This is such a good question because we all judge people. We all do. It's like just an inherent thing about human beings. We judge people. But how you judge people, that's where it can be offensive. And also, I think it can be if you judge too much. Like, I hope that nobody is mean. That's the best way to put it. You know, like, there's so many mean people out there, and I don't think a lot of people judge from meanness in their heart. But judging can be mean. It's a mean thing. It's like thinking that you're better than someone or that they're better than you. Yeah, it's not a thing that I love. My judgment when I judge people, and I will freely admit that I do judge people, is very quick, and this is honestly what it is. Do I want to talk to you? That's all it is. I got a question in the chat right here from my dear friend Mike 2, also known as Mikescruffles, Big Brother Gossip, who's ramping up his coverage right now. As you might be aware, Big Brother starts in about 2 days. This is going to be like the 3rd season that I watch live of like full Big Brother, which I'm really excited about. But he asked what my favorite reality TV show is, or TV shows in general. For those that don't know, I'm a big Survivor fan. I've watched every episode. I love every episode. and TV shows in general. I really loved Orange is the New Black for most of the series. There's a couple seasons where I don't love. What else? I also really love 30 Rock. I thought that was a great show. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt was one of my favorites. I'm a really big Tina Fey nerd. That's one of my big things in life. I study the gospel of Tina Fey. Let me think what else I really love. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is great. I love TV shows that can like distract me. Also, like I've been rewatching Nathan For You and Review, two of the better shows out there, like in the last like 10 years. If you haven't watched Nathan For You, it's all on Hulu for American viewers, and Review is on the Comedy Central app. Review is beautiful, dark comedy. And Nathan For You is just really fun, great stuff. Back to other questions. That was a great question. Thank you, Mike. This is a really interesting question because I asked him for more information about this. Zachary Kruskal asks again, how far would you go? This is a really interesting question because it could go in so many different ways. I am one of the most driven people that you will ever meet. If I believe in something, I will go hard on it. If I want something, if I believe in the right, that what my idea is right, then I will fight for what's right. I do work my ass off to be on the right thing of right, on the correct side of right, not the right of right, because that sounds weirdly, unfortunately political, which I don't want to be right now. For those who don't know my political opinions, you can take a look at me and you'll be correct with what your guess is, probably. Jewish guy living in New York, let's just put it that way. But as a human being, I believe in people's rights, and I will go as far as I would go fucking hard for anything that I believe in. If I believe in you, I got your back 100%. If I don't believe in you, you're done. You're done to me. I don't care. I really don't care. Like, if I don't like you, I don't like you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to associate with you. You're done. If I love you, if I like you, I love you. There's almost no middle ground for me. That's a very real fact. I don't know if I answered the question correctly, but I answered it correctly enough for myself. If the chat didn't love that answer, that's okay. I apologize if that wasn't great, but that's where my brain is when it comes to that kind of situation. Hannah Dolan asks, how do you embark as a content creator, writer, producer, actor? How do you get started? This is a really fascinating question because I've always been a character actor. I've always looked older than I am. And then people like Seth Rogen came out of nowhere, and I realized, holy crap, this guy is me, and I love his stuff. How can I do what he does? And when I realized that I would not really have a career as an actor until I was around this age, in my mid 30s, or I could create my own stuff and try to be a better writer, actor, etc. So as a content creator, what I love about it is I can decide what I want to tell. That's the nuts and bolts of it. I love that I can decide the stories I want to tell. And that means a lot to me because, I mean, the type of stories I tend to tell tend to be very, very silly. Writer, producer, actor, how do you get started at that? You have to make sacrifices. I don't know how financially stable you are or people around you are. I don't really party that much. I don't drink much unless I'm furloughed. And I am very driven with the fact that this is what I want to do. This is why I'm in New York. When the election in 2016 was happening, I was having a really bad anxiety. And I found myself writing nonstop at night when I should be asleep. And instead of not sleeping, I would write. I just wrote a whole hour-long play in that time. And it came out pretty good. And then I found people interested in helping get that story told. I'd also say using YouTube and other streaming sites to help tell your stories is good. I might be doing something like that starting next week on Monday. I'm not sure, but we'll figure that out then. But yeah, if you have the drive, you can do anything. And Hannah, I know you, and you're fucking awesome. I think you can do whatever you want, because I know you were talking about moving to LA after college. I believe you're 20 years old, which you're doing the right thing right now by figuring things out and asking the questions. Yeah, you got this. That's the best way to put it. So wrapping up on the show, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Wednesday, I got a really, really amazing guest. I asked like 3 weeks ago about this guest. I will be interviewing Sharifa Yasmin. She's an amazing director. If you're a fan of Sequester, you know exactly who she is. She's a legend in the community and really, really fantastic. And really just an A+. Actually, I'm going back to that because I got a question I want to answer in the comments. Mike asked another question if I can tell him a little bit more about my one-person show before the pandemic. Blockbuster Guy. It's a comedic one-man show about how a nerd like me, who did not have friends growing up, as much friends growing up as he wanted, fell in love with movies, and then eventually worked at Blockbuster during the height of its time, which was between 2004 and 2007, the last actual peak of Blockbuster. And the stories of living in a small town in college while working at Blockbuster and having everyone in the whole town know who I was and be like, hey, ain't you Blockbuster Guy? That's what we get on the street all the time. People will be like, you're Blockbuster Guy, huh? You're Blockbuster Guy. Everywhere I went. It's a funny show. It's a show that's got a lot of heart in it. Everything I do has all heart in it because that's my big thing. And it will be touring again as soon as theaters are back to being open. I know I have a contract still for the last Jesus Christ. I signed a contract with a theater about 5 months ago to do the show. Woo! But that will be as soon as theaters are back to being open. But going back to closing up this show. So we have Sharifa Yasmin coming, and I'm so excited to talk to her. She's got the exact opposite story than I have as a human being. And we're both theater makers, and we're going to talk a lot about theater and a little bit of Sequester, of course, for the Sequester listeners here. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, which would be, of course, at MarkLevy85 on Twitter here or whatever. I thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next time on Wednesday with my amazing guest, Sharifa Yasmin. See you guys then.